What's up guys? Welcome to Supercars of London in a very quiet Audi R8. That's because I've just stopped off at the petrol station, jumped back in the car, put it in drive, took the electric park brake off, shot up the road to some roadwork traffic lights, and I forgot to turn automatic start stop off. There we go. In perfect timing, we've just gone green. Anyway, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a very smartly dressed PJW. That is because I'm headed to Salon Privé at Blenheim Palace. Every year they hold a very posh and very exquisite car event at a palace in Oxfordshire. This year I've been invited down by my insurance company, First Point. They insure all of my cars and have done since the BMW M3, and they called me up and says, Paul, we got a couple of tickets if you want to come. So I'm en route to pick up Danny, who helps me out with Supercars of London, photography and videography things. I'm en route to collect him, and I've got a feeling that maybe the first half of this video might feature an unpopular opinion, because I am yet to see the Aventador SVJ in the flesh. I've seen it in pictures, I've seen it in videos from Monterey Car Week, and I have to say I'm not overly wowed by it as I was with the Aventador SV. From the pictures and from the videos, it all looks a little bit busy, but at the same time I don't think they've launched it in the right colour. I don't think the green is a colour that suits that car. So I'm going to head over to Blenheim Palace. I'm going to check this car out for the first time, bring you guys along for the ride with me, and hopefully, I pray and keep my fingers crossed that when I see it in the flesh, I fall in love with it. But as for now, it's not pulling any of my heartstrings, which is a weird one because it's a V12 Lamborghini. So I'm going to get Danny in the car, we're going to head over to Blenheim Palace, check out some of the cars, and then go and check out this Aventador SVJ. We have made it! Look how smart we are!
Indeed.
We look like we're going to an interview.
Yeah, I do, you don't.
Yeah. Danny's actually wearing suit trousers.
I am literally wearing suit trousers.
He looks like a John Lewis mannequin.
I literally, yeah, literally.
I look like I'm from Zara or something.
Yeah.
We've arrived. How quiet is it? I feel like this is beautiful for what we want to do.
Peaceful.
Because, as I said in the intro, which you haven't seen, got kind of an unpopular opinion on the SVJ at the moment because I haven't seen it in the flesh.
Yeah.
Not sure on it. So today,
too many bits on it.
So you feel the same?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've been seeing it quite a lot on Instagram. Obviously there's a lot of people that are vocal about having it on order, and they're excited about it coming because there's no denying that it is going to be the best variant of the Aventador to drive.
Yeah, there's no doubt of that.
But in terms of just visuals, still coming to terms with it, and I think once you see it in the flesh and you see the dimensions and it's just in front of you, hopefully we can get a better perspective of it.
Yeah.
But I think one of the problems that it's got is it's in the wrong colour.
Yeah, they've put it.
Not sure about the AMG GTR colour.
I know, it's green.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to make a beeline for that. This video is Salon Privé, but mainly around the SVJ and weather. Seeing it for the first time, I like it. Well, this is a very posh lawn. Some of the cars here are worth an absolute fortune. I could probably just walk past this XJ220 and it's about to get trumped by this Ferrari.
Nice.
I keep seeing that Ferrari. It's not that exact Ferrari, but there's a lot of special stuff here, including that F40 LM over there, got the Zonda Oliver over there, and towards the back of Salon Privé is where the manufacturers are. I can see Lamborghini, but I can only see the Urus at the moment. We're definitely the only ones filming with a video camera set up like this. It's very, very posh. There's a lot of schmoozing going on. There's a lot of champagne being driven.
That's the only way to describe it.
What?
A lot of snoozing.
Schmoozing. Oh, there's the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. That's the first time that I've seen that.
That's cool.
We're coming up to Ferrari, which looks like it's being monitored pretty heavily by Dick Lovett. We're going to skip Ferrari today.
Yeah.
Actually, well,
Let's just go to Lamborghini already.
Enzo, that's quite nice, 488 race car.
Yeah, that's quite
and
cool.
Portofino, that's the first time that I've actually seen that outside of motor show lights, actually.
Very nice.
It's quite a nice spec.
Yeah, it's good colour.
But here we go. This.
Oh.
Okay, look,
Wow.
it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it actually does. Wow.
Jesus. Okay, now I'm getting excited. I take back everything that I said.
So do I, actually.
Look at this, guys. Okay, I'm going to discreetly film some of the details because we can get pretty up close with this car. But this new front bumper is extended, meaning that the side profile is actually a lot longer, or it looks a lot longer. It gives the impression that it's a lot longer. But all of this aero actually works. This is what I was a little bit confused by, these nostrils in the front bumper, which in this colour, not a big fan of. But if you were to spec this in a dark colour or any sort of neutral monochrome colour, I think they'd blend in a lot better. But I love this new, there's just so many details that you don't pick up when you're looking at it in photos on Instagram. This piano black lower splitter down here mixed with gloss carbon there. This side vent here that just is going to channel the air down the side of the car, probably cooling these brake calipers and the brakes. Side profile is utterly outrageous, and I'm going to spend as much time as I can around this car. The new wheel design is a little bit Huracan-esque. These air vents are way bigger than the stock Lamborghini Aventador. I mean, those vents are just putting so much air to the V12. I think the interior is very similar to just a standard Aventador SV, so we're not going to focus too much on that. But then over here you've got this engine bay that is just a little bit like the Gallardo Super Trofeo. I feel like there's a little bit of inspiration from there. We're going to move around the other side because this is by far the busiest stand that we have. If you look over there, you've got Aston Martin over there. Ferrari and Bentley are pretty dead over there. But there is a lot of attention around the SVJ. Let's have a look at the rear of this car. I was a little bit skeptical about the Performante exhaust exits, but here they're emphasised so much more. And I think they suit this car very, very well. It's a really dramatic design. But let's have a look at the engine bay. Oh, carbon everywhere. Yeah, I thought that this looked a little bit too Huracan Performante. I thought that they had tried to take too much from that car, which of course is a beautiful looking car and a very successful one around the track. But you can see how this is so fast around the Nürburgring. That V12 is propelling this car so much more than the V10 that runs in that car. And yeah, guys, if you were pissed off with me at the beginning of the video when I said that I wasn't sure about this car, this is the first time that I'm getting up and close and personal to it, and I love it. Look at that rear wing. I think this is going to be really cool. Still not a fan. It's kind of like a satin chrome green. It's a little bit more chromy than what the AMG GTR is. I'm not sure on the spec. I'm not sold on the spec. Like, these red brake calipers don't really go with the green. But I can imagine when you see this on the road, it is going to be the most ridiculous thing ever. And because the exhaust exit's there, I can imagine that the pipes are pretty straight connecting to the engine because it's sort of at the same height. Everyone's loving this car, including me. Okay, yeah, this is one car of the show already. There is a ton of crazy expensive classics, but a white Urus, this is quite nice actually. Quite like this one, and by the look of it, this is the Performante Spider that I've actually driven. How ridiculous is that? But that has got a whole new meaning of road presence. Sounds totally different. Lamborghini are my favourite. That is a different tone, a different sound, and a different volume as well. Obviously that's it fairly cold. They didn't want to rev it too hard. The valves will obviously open as it warms up, but that is going to be a monster when that's on full chat. It's quieting down a fair bit. I think when we got here it was at its busiest, but now there's pretty much no one here. Whose bloody alarm's that? Bentley. But I was just chatting to one of the Lamborghini experts here, and what was really interesting is that it's a much more advanced aero system in this as opposed to the Performante. Now the Performante was super intelligent, and that's what made it go round the ring as quickly as it did, but this, on the rear of the car, the rear aero, actually when you turn, it's got the ability to leave one flap open and one flap closed, whereas the Performante just had the rear active aero. They could only open and shut both of them at the same time, whereas this, when you go around corners, it's actually more efficient with the aero that it's running, so that you can get that beast, which it is a beast because it's such a big car, it's such a heavy car. It needs that aero for it to be as agile as it is. I just would love the opportunity of driving one, and driving one hard, because it's such an occasion to drive a V12 Lamborghini, as I know. But to be able to drive that, the most advanced variant of a V12 Lamborghini, that's it, that's the last one. Obviously we're going to have a very special Lamborghini, very, very special. It's like a Reventon style Aventador, a Centenario style Aventador that is going to be the last ever naturally aspirated V12 before they move on to a hybrid system. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of it for V12s. That's it. So if you're ever considering a time to buy a V12 Lamborghini, it's now. That's got a V12 in it and it doesn't sound that good. I know it's twin turbo, but
Like the valve shut,
still,
maybe.
It's a dying breed, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm glad that I took the R8 out, because it's a nice day and it's good to run the R8 every now and again. And I mean, it is my daily.
Just a little bit expensive for a daily.
A little bit expensive. But there we go. That's Salon Privé. That's the Aventador SVJ. I know a lot of you people have probably already seen that car and seen videos of it, but this was my first ever time seeing it in the flesh, both me and Danny.
Yeah.
So I think massive thumbs up from both of us.
Indeed.
I probably wasn't expecting to not like it in the flesh. I would have been pretty surprised by myself if I didn't like it in the flesh, but it just doesn't need to be in that colour. So everyone that I know that has them on order, which actually is quite a lot, there's a lot of people within the community that do have them on order. I'm going to stress, please pick a dark colour. I think it will look better in a dark colour, or a monochrome colour. And I know Lamborghinis should be bright, but yeah, I'm about to wrap my car in Grigio Telesto, which is grey, so you can see where my mind is swaying. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. My arm's starting to ache now, this camera's quite heavy and it's hot, and we look like we're just completed our job interview.
Yeah, you're the manager.
No, you are.
Well, no, you're the boss.
Right guys, I'll see you soon. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And enjoy the weekend. Goodbye.